have your weights kind of nearby, but just for right now, just kind of place them off to the side, somewhere you'll be able to access them. And we're just gonna sit our butts right onto our ball. Take a second to just find a good grounding position. So your feet wanna feel good and solid, your butt wants to feel good and solid on your ball. And then we want our head, our heart, and our hips in line. So if it feels like you're kind of tipping forward, bring it all back to that nice upright spine, readjust anything that you need to. And then once you're there, just for a moment here, close your eyes down. Notice that little bit of instability that exists underneath your butt. So normally if we're seated on the floor or on the chair, we have this really good solid position underneath us. But notice here that your legs are always a little kicked on, your spine is always a little bit kicked on. So notice that gentle instability underneath you. And then eyes opened or closed, that's totally up to you. But as you inhale, just let your shoulders kind of drift up to your ears. And as you exhale, let them soften down. Inhale and let your shoulders lift. Exhale and soften down. Do that one more time. Inhale, let your shoulders lift. Exhale, soften down. Slide your hands forward so you catch hold of your kneecaps and then move into a cat-cow. Lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back, round your shoulders, tuck the tailbone under, and then feel that little bit of movement of the ball underneath you as you do this work here. Lift your chest and round your back. And then just take a few more at your pace, just working through your spine and noticing how your back feels. Beautiful. Take one more time through, and then the next time you find a nice tall upright spine, we're going to release our hands from our knees, step your feet just a little bit wider so you have that good base of support. And now we're going to find the sides of the ball and we're going to bend over and reach like you're trying to touch the little curve underneath the ball, and then come back up and we're going to take it over to the other side. So you're going to try to touch the curve underneath your ball, come back up over to the other side. Try to find that curve and touch, bring it back up with control, reach over to the other side, find that curve and touch, and bring it back up with control. One more time through, reach down, try to find that bottom curve of the ball, come back up, nice, over to the other side, touch the curve of the ball, and then come back up and move right into a seated twist. So we're gonna twist to one side, let the hand find the back of the ball, and then leverage against that knee just as much as feels good to you. But then once you've got a good twist and it feels nice, tune in and just notice the movement of breath in your abdomen. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, release and take your twist over to the other side. Get a good handhold so that you can leverage against that knee. And then once you've got that good twist and it feels good, just tune back in and notice the movement of breath in your abdomen. Awesome. When you're ready, unwind, come through center. Now we're going to step the feet out. So it's a wide position with the legs. Feet are pretty solid on the ground, but keep your knees slightly bent. And then we're just going to start to lean the heart forward. So you might choose to just stay a little bit more up. If like head under the heart is not good for you right now, you're going to stay in this more gentle, subtle forward bend. But if it feels good to fold all the way down, you're going to fold as far and as deep as feels good to you. And what we're shooting for is to find a little bit of a stretch or lengthening in the low back. So keep your knees as bent as you need to so that you can find most of that work happening in your low back area. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, come up nice and slow. And now we're going to step the feet in so that they're about hip width distance apart. And then we're going to tune in and focus on that front pocket area or that hip crease area. So if it helps you find it, place your hands in your hip crease. But then we're going to start a little march. So we're going to pick one knee up and then the other. How high it goes, where are you the most controlled? Where do you feel the strongest? So for some of us, we can probably pick our knees way up to our shoulders, but some of us, it might feel a little bit better to keep it a little bit more controlled. So you want to make sure that your butt and the ball aren't rocking out from underneath you. Everything is a nice controlled maneuver. Nice. Take one more march of each foot and then take it into a bounce. So we're pushing down into the feet, but check your knees here. So if that bouncing is a little bit precarious on the knees, make sure you're keeping your quadriceps, the tops of the thighs, nice and strong, and let most of this movement come out of the tops of the thighs. If it helps you find it, place your hands on your thighs. So we want to make sure those thigh muscles are kicked on. We're pushing down into the feet, but everything else is nice and stable. So it's not a big rocking all over the place. Legs are strong and kicked on, nice, tall, upright spine. You might even feel your abdominal muscles kick on as you work through those quadricep muscles. Take about 3 to 5 more bounces here. And then let everything come to a stillness just for a moment and notice. Notice the warmth in your muscles, that warmth in your belly. You might even notice your breath. And now we're going to take the left leg and start to step it out nice and wide. We're moving towards a warrior two position. So as you step that leg out, sort of readjust and rotate, find that angle out of your hips, leg extended out nice and long, other knee is nice and bent. And then we're going to focus on a rib cage. So pull and rotate the rib cage so that they're in line with the hips. Extend your arms out straight. And then once you're there, just look past your right hand for a moment and take a nice big breath. Nice. And then we're going to push gently down into your feet. So you want to feel inner thighs, backs of the thighs kick on as you push down into your feet, almost as if you're trying to elevate your butt up off the ball, but you're still going to feel that ball underneath you. So feel your legs kick on, lift that energy up, out through your fingertips. Keep that strong energy in the legs. And now we're going to take it from peaceful warrior back to warrior two. So we're going to reach out through the arms and then let that backhand touch, lifting up as we work through the side body. Nice. Take 3 more just like that. Legs are nice and strong. Your butt feels like it's slightly elevated away from the ball, but you can still feel that ball underneath you. Beautiful. Now we're going to take it into our side angle. So that right elbow is going to come down to the knee, still feeling that upward lifting sensation. Top hand's going to reach up. And now we're going to angle the pinky finger down. So we're going to rotate the pinky finger so it's drawing down towards the ground, still pushing into the legs. Legs are still nice and strong. One more breath. Lift up through your warrior two position and then settle your butt down, soften your knees, crawl your feet in towards each other. Take a second to kind of shimmy, shake everything out. But then we're going to take it to the other side. So we're going to step the leg out nice and long. Find that lunge position first. Rotate your hips. Get your ribs in line with the hips. And then once you've got it, stretch your arms out. Look past that left hand and then find that pushing down sensation. So we push down into the feet, like your butt is lifting away from the ball, but you can still feel the ball underneath you. Beautiful. Now from here, take it into your peaceful warrior and then back to your warrior two. And then just take a few more times through here, finding that work through the side body in those oblique muscles. Nice. Last one here. And then take it into your side angle. So left elbow is going to find the left knee, right hand's going to reach up, finding that nice long position through the side of the body, but the legs are still pushing down. So we want to feel like our butt is lifting or elevating up away from the ball. And then take that top pinky finger and just rotate it slightly down towards the ground. So we've got this little bit of length or energetic pull from the pinky finger down to the blade edge of the foot. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, lift up with control, soften your knees, toe heel your feet or walk your feet in just so you find that good position. And then just give everything a little wiggle waggle, shake out your tail, wriggle out your shoulders, and now grab your hand weights. Find a nice sturdy position. So feet solid on the ground. And we're going to take the arms slightly wide. So we're going to think bicep curl, but at a slight angle. So maybe we're angled out about 45 degrees and we're just pulling the weights up to the shoulders and releasing them all the way down. So we want that full range of motion if we can find it. One more time through. And then the next time your arms touch down, flip the palms. And now we're going to take it into a nice 45-degree angle. So we're angled about not all the way out in that lateral shoulder raise and not all the way out in front. So about 45 degrees, but the palms are facing down. Everything else stays stable. So legs are sturdy. You're not wiggling on your ball too much. Nice upright spine. You guys look amazing. 3 more to go. Nice. And then load up at your knees. So we're going to hold those weights in place and then come back to that nice little march. Slow it down here. So when you were marching before, you probably had a little bit of a pace going, but now just with that added little bit of load, holding the weights in place. So your hands are just holding them in place. The legs are doing the heavy lifting. But notice how just that little bit of load kind of changes how you sit on your ball. Take 1 or 2 more times through each leg. And then you just want to make sure that you're positioned so that you can start to do that little bit of a walkout. So I'm going to reposition myself, but you position yourself in a way that makes sense to you. Now we're going to load up at the shoulders and do that little bit of a walkout. So we're going to step forward, find the low back, step back in, keep loaded at the shoulders. Step forward, let the low back find the ball, step in, nice upright spine, beautiful. Step forward, step it back in. One more time here. Step it forward, step it back in, and now we're going to go all the way out. So we're going to find that upper middle back. So we're going to step our way all the way out. You're going to still support the head and now find that wide chest press position, elbows nice and wide. Push up towards the ceiling, lower with control. Push up towards the ceiling, lower with control. Legs are nice and steady. Belly is nice and firm. We got 4 more to go. Last one, and then load up at the shoulders, walk yourself back up nice and slow and controlled. Now we're going to set those weights off to the side, just somewhere where it's safe. And then we're going to come back to that extended position. So walk yourself back out, but this time hands behind the head. And now we're going to take it into a crunch. So we're going to lean over the back of the ball just a little bit, pull the abdominal muscles, crunch up, and then away we go. You're going to take this at your pace. As you do this work here, take a little glance at your abdominal muscles. If your abdominal muscles have a tendency to dome up and make a little upward triangle, we want to see if we can reduce how big our crunch is, but focus on pulling the abdominal muscles down towards the spine as we do that crunch up. I'd rather you have great form, but a little bit smaller range of motion. So we start to build up that strength in the proper places. On this last one, as you lean back, release your hands from your head, just kind of drape over that ball in that lighter version of our back bend. So arms are just going to hang nice and heavy. Take a few deep breaths here, just allowing a little bit of length to come back into those core muscles. Take one more big inhale. And then on your next exhale, like a little bit of a roll up. So we're going to curl up, walk yourself all the way back. So the legs are out in front of you with a super generous bend. And now we're going to fold all the way down. Toes pointing slightly forward. So there's a little length through the front of the ankle. And then you just reach toward your toes as best you can. Soft grounding through the back of the body. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. And then come up nice and slow and controlled. And now we're going to come up to a standing position and just pass that ball around in front of you. Once you've got your upright standing position, we're going to move it right into a down dog. So hands are going to find the ball, walk your feet back or walk the ball forward, just whatever spacing you're working with. It doesn't matter how you get there. But then once you found that nice little V shape with the body, make as much space with your arms as you can so that your head can drop comfortably between the space of your arms. Right hand is going to stay on the ball. Left hand's going to reach either to the outside of the right thigh or to the outside of the calf. So whichever handhold works good for you, but we're going to add a little twist in our dog. So as we rotate slightly, look under your right armpit, think about pulling those left ribs towards your right leg. So we want to try to reach through the torso, finding that nice little twist, looking under the armpit. Take 2 more cycles of breath. Beautiful. And then with control, release. Left hand's going to find the ball. Right hand's going to release. You may use the calf. You may use the thigh. That's just whatever proportion or shape works best for you to find that rotation. Leverage against that leg a little bit. Rotate. Look under your left arm. One more breath. And then when you're ready, release. We're going to pull the ball towards us so it's getting really nice and close to our legs, and then soften a little bit so you can just hug over the ball and then walk yourself out to a plank position. So you'll readjust your legs so that you find the planking that works good for you and the spacing that works good for you. Once you've found that bit of a plank position, so the ball is maybe under your hips, it may be under your thighs, it's maybe under your shins, that's going to just totally vary what feels good. We're going to focus on a little strength in the upper body. So find your plank position and then push the floor away from you. Rotate the eyes of the elbows so that they're pointing towards the top of the mat. Now we're going to keep that strong plank position. Bend your elbows just a little bit towards the ball and then push yourself back up nice and strong. Keep the eyes of the elbows rotated towards the front end of your mat. Bend your elbows just a little bit. Push your way back up nice and strong. 2 more to go here. Bend your elbows just a little bit. Push back up nice and strong. Last one, bend your elbows. Up nice and strong. Hang out in this plank. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then slowly, mindfully walk yourself right back. Now we're going to keep that ball underneath the belly. So readjust yourself as needed. We're going to keep that ball under the belly, and then we're just going to round over. So let your whole back round over the ball. Let your arms hang nice and heavy, and then just tune in and focus on the compression of the ball against your belly. So we want that little bit of compression so that we can take deeper breaths. So imagine that you got a compression in the front of your belly. So now breathe into the back of your body. One more cycle of breath here. Nice. And then when you're ready, slowly, slowly, slowly bring yourself back up. Now that you're in that high kneel position, we're going to place the elbows onto the ball and then move that ball out. So it might be a little bit of a walk with those elbows so you find the right position, but we want a little bit of a stress in the upper body and the shoulders. So elbows on, you walk your elbows out to a point where you get a good sensation. That might look a little different on all of us. And then once you found your way here, we're going to take a second to let the belly and the ribs kind of drop down a little bit, and then pull a little strength into the back body as you firm up your abdomen. Elbows stay on the ball. Let your belly drop. Pull the abdominal muscles up and broaden through the shoulders. Do that 2 more times. Let the belly drop. Pull the abdominal muscles up, broaden through the shoulders. 1 more time here. Let the belly drop. Pull the abdominal muscles in, broaden the shoulders, and then release your hands. Now we're going to come down onto our backside. So ball is going to be out so that it can come underneath our legs. So you walk yourself down in any way that works good for you, and then kick your legs up over the ball. Once you've got your legs up over the ball, nothing to do here but relax. So we're going to let the ball support the legs. Let your arms come out in whatever position works good for you, and then just give your back a second to kind of settle in and chill out for a second. Take 3 more cycles of breath. Great. Now from here, we're going to reposition the ball. So you're going to step your feet in nice and close so that your heels are on the ball, but your knees are hugged in towards the chest. What we want is a little room to move and roll the ball. So we're going to roll the ball out and away. So now maybe it's under the heels and the calves, and then pull it back in, knees into the chest. And that's all we're going to do from here. Press your back of your arms into the ground. Think about pressing your abdominal muscles down towards the ground. Arms are going to press down. Belly is pressing down, and we're just pulling the knees in and out with control. Notice the ball. If the ball is trying to wobble out from underneath you, or if you have one leg that's a little stronger than the other and it kind of wants to give a little swivel to start, can you keep that ball controlled? Can you keep both legs moving at the same even pace? Abdominal muscles pulling firm, backs of the arms pressing down into the ground. Take about 2 more pulls in and out, trying to keep that nice even pace with those legs. Cool. Now the next time your legs extend all the way out, we're going to point the toes. And now we're going to get into a little bit of a reverse plank. So we're going to push into the heels, lift and squeeze your glutes, lift the back away from the ground, shoulders are still grounded, back of the head is still grounded, and then hip hinge, lower your butt back down, release your toes. Point your toes, push into your heels, lift up, squeeze those glutes, hold it for a moment, hip hinge, lower your hips down, relax your toes. Do that again. Point your toes, squeeze your glutes, lift your butt up, hold it for a second, hip hinge, lower your butt down, relax your toes. We got 3 more to go. Point your toes, squeeze your glutes, lift up and hold, hip hinge, lower down, relax your toes. Point your toes, lift your hips, hold it for a second, hip hinge, relax your toes. Last one here, point your toes, lift your hips, hold it for a second, nice big squeeze, hip hinge, lower it down, relax your toes, pull that ball back in, let your knees hug into your chest and just hang out here. It takes 3 cycles of breath. Nice. And now we're going to throw our legs back over the ball. So nice bent knee position, 90-degree bend with those legs. Arms are going to come out a little bit wider and we're going to come back into those oblique muscles. So we're going to drop the knees side to side. You're going to go only as far as it feels where you feel those side belly muscles, those oblique muscles kick on, and then you're going to pull it back in with control and move right over to the other side. So no need to tip so far that it becomes a spinal twist. What we want is that good oblique work. So we want those side belly muscles to kick on and keep it in control, moving from side to side. Beautiful. Take one more time each side. And then as you come back to center, you're going to walk your ball up just a little bit. So the heels are on the ball. You've got that 90-degree bend. And now you're going to push into your heels just to the point where you feel those hamstring muscles kick on. So your hips are going to lift up just a little bit and then lower with control. Push into the heels, lift your butt up just a little bit, lower with control. 2 more to go here. Push into the heels, lift your butt up just a little bit, lower with control. Last one, push into your heels, lift your butt, lower with control. Now we're going to go one single leg. So left leg on, right leg is just going to reach up towards the ceiling. We're going to push into that left heel, pick the butt up. Now you're really going to feel those hamstring muscles kick on. Can you hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your hips with control, switching feet, right foot on, left foot's going to extend up towards the ceiling. We're going to push into that heel, lift your butt up, feel the back of the thigh kick on, hold that nice strong position for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower with control, release that foot down. And now we're going to come into an upright seated position and legs are going to come out nice and wide. So we're going to place the ball in front of us, reposition your legs so it's a nice wide position, but now we're going to get a little bit active. So think pinky toes pulling backwards, inner thighs kicked on. And now hip hinge, walk your ball out in front of you with a little bit of reach through your arms. So upper body feels like it's in a little bit of a down dog situation with a little bit of reach, but the legs are active and pinky toes are pulling back so we keep the inner thighs engaged. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, come up nice and slow. I'm going to spin myself around, but you might choose to just stay exactly as you are, but keep that wide position with the legs, but now move the ball over to one side and we're going to add a little bit of a side bend. So we're going to let that hand rest on the ball, start to sort of reach outward. So you're getting that little bit of side bend situation. And then the top hand is going to reach up and just lift. So your hands might meet, that's fine, or they might not. Totally up to you, just finding that good length through the side of the body. Legs are still nice and anchored and the side body's a little bit supported with the ball. Beautiful. Come up nice and slow and controlled. And now we're going to pick that ball up, pass it over to the other side, and then set yourself up. So if you need to readjust your legs, do that. And now we're going to find that side bend again. So we're going to reach out, let the ball support you. Your hand might touch or that might not. That's totally up to you, just as long as you're getting some good reach and length through the side of your body. Beautiful. Come back up with control. Now we're going to take it into Sukhasana or crisscross your legs. So crisscross your legs. I'm going to turn sideways just so you'll be able to see what's going on with the back side of my body. So find a position where your hands can rest on the ball. And then we're going to push the ball forward so the arms are straight out in front of you. Pull the elbows back in and everything else stays as stationary as it can. Reach the ball out, just lengthening through the arms. Pull the elbows back in. Keep that tall upright spine. One more time. Reach the arms out. Pull the elbows in, and now we're going to reach the arms out, hold the arms there. But now to focus on this nice upright posture, we're going to do the double chin. So you're going to push your chin in and back, making that little double chin and hold. But the arms are going to stay extended out. Now notice, if you did that work and the shoulders started to kind of round forward, can you hug the shoulders down? Keep the arms reaching, keep the double chin pulled in, and then relax the double chin, but everything else stays just as it is. Now back to the double chin. Pull the chin in and back, shoulders down. Hopefully here you're feeling those muscles in between the shoulder blades kind of kicking on and lighten up, and then release. And now we're going to do 3 more times, but at a little bit more rapid pace. Pull the chin back, hold, and release. Pull the chin back and hold, and release. Pull the chin back and hold, and release. Nice. And now we're going to lean forward. This is a hands-free. So if you can, lean forward. Can you spin your legs around, curl your toes under, come all the way up into your down dog situation. Nice, you guys. Okay, find your down dog and then just let your chest drop down, wag out your tail a little bit, let everything soften here and take 3 nice deep breaths. Beautiful. Soften your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, come all the way up nice and slow and controlled. Maybe shrug out your shoulders. You guys are amazing. Nice work today.